enjoying this content, hit that subscribe button. Join us.
What? What now? Okay. Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. I'm Ethan Van Sciver, 26-year veteran of the comic book industry, world's most charming, elegant, eloquent, and yet humble man, great big Star Wars fan. So earlier in the week, Esquire magazine did an interview with poor 82-year-old Billy Dee Williams, who is about to make his return to the big screen as Lando Calrissian in Star Wars Episode 9. Now, Lucasfilm, Star Wars, Disney, with the help of John Kasdan, son of Larry Kasdan, have destroyed the Lando Calrissian character. They've disgraced him, they've embarrassed him, they've made him really, really weird. John Kasdan decided that Lando Calrissian, as a young man in the movie Solo, was pansexual, a term which he then, a kind of LA term which now the world understands or misunderstands to mean, yeah, you'll have intercourse with almost anything. What it actually means is, that gender identity doesn't mean much to me. I judge people by their hearts or the way they look or something like that. But it's not about whether you're man, woman, straight, gay, bi, whatever. It still limits you to humans. In Star Wars, that has been extended. Pansexual means droids, robots, and not even attractive robots like the ones coming out of Japan. I mean, they're trying to make artificial humans over there. I don't really understand it, but actual weird-looking, clunky, Star Wars-style primitive droids that look like they were strung together from, toaster ovens made in 1968. It's very, very strange. Now, Don Glover, who played Lando Calrissian in Solo, heard about this, heard that his character was supposed to be pansexual. He rolled with the punches, and I think Esquire took advantage of Billy Dee Williams by asking him similar questions and trying to lead him down that garden path. And Billy Dee Williams said some very strange things. He said, yeah, I sometimes refer to myself as himself or herself. I have a soft side, or whatever it was he said. To which I said, do you also refer to yourself in the third person? How do you call yourself himself? How do you call yourself herself? It's myself. It's I, me, mine. It's very difficult to refer to yourself in a gendered kind of way without stepping out of first personhood. Look at that. What a great picture for this. So in any case, Billy Dee Williams made a few comments, and he said he basically wanted to say, look, I'm a sensitive guy. I'm from the 1970s. And of course, our crazy, whacked out media, our lunatic, disgusting media that's run by SJWs, interpreted that in the millennial sense, as though Billy Dee Williams is a man of 2019 and not, 1979, and started to say that Billy Dee Williams had come out as gender fluid. When I read this, I did a live stream, and I was like, I don't think Billy Dee Williams knows what he's talking about. I kind of feel like at 82, they've kind of trapped this guy in a corner, and they're misinterpreting what he said here. To align with their own agenda. And it turns out, according to the New York Times, that's precisely what happened. Billy Dee Williams is like, wait a second, what? In a recent interview with Esquire, the actor said he used himself and herself, widely taken to mean he had embraced gender-fluid pronouns. Only in this wacky, crazy, loop-de-loo current year society we jump to that conclusion. Although this gentleman does fetching things with an ascot. I don't think he knows what gender fluidity means. I don't think this generation, his generation, does. And so we've got this person here who's Maya Salam, who's probably very disappointed to have to report. Billy Dee Williams recently told Esquire magazine that he uses both male and female pronouns to refer to himself. I say himself and herself. You don't say himself and herself. You don't. You say myself. At no point you can't, because I also see myself as feminine as well as masculine, said Williams, who's known for playing Pando Calrissian in the Star Wars universe. I think of myself as a relatively colorful character, and here we go. Here's a way that you can spin it around. Who doesn't take himself or herself too seriously. All right. There's a way that you can actually use those pronouns to describe yourself. All right. His comments were widely taken to mean that he had embraced gender-fluid pronouns. But on Tuesday, in an interview with the Times reporter David Itzkoff for the forthcoming Star Wars article, and I'm sure they were all abuzz. Are you really, are you trans? Are you gender neutral? Are you... Williams at 82 said he was not aware of how his words would be interpreted. You got to be careful when you talk to these nutcases. You got to be careful, Billy Dee. Billy Dee, not Don Glover. He's just a guy, girl. That was a good article, except for the thing about gender. What's it called? Gender fluid, he's referring to the Esquire profile. I never heard that expression before, but I don't really know what it means. What does it mean? What does it mean? When the term was explained to Williams that there are people who do not identify as simply men or women, he said, well, that's not what I was talking about. I was talking about, I think men should get in touch with their female self. The guy is from 1979. This guy is an Engelbert Humperdinck song brought to life. He's feelings, nothing more than feelings. This guy has no idea what any of these weirdos are talking about. He is not as mentally ill and crazy as this current generation of social justice warriors. And they tried to exploit him. They tried to exploit his words. And that news went all around the world. I have to tell you, I sat there, I looked at 25 different articles about this, and I thought, I'll mention it on a live stream, but I really feel like they're exploiting this old man. I don't really know how to get into it. And sure enough, the news got all around the world that Billy Dee Williams doesn't identify as a man. Do not talk to these people. Men should not be afraid or ashamed of expressing the soft side of themselves, added Williams. Yeah, that's all. Who did not ask that others use different pronouns for him. Williams' clarifications speak to a broader and often divisive transformation taking place, the increasingly common practice of choosing a pronoun that best reflects one's gender identity and asking others to adhere to it. He doesn't care about that. This guy doesn't go on Twitter. This guy isn't on Twitter complaining to people. But society's shifting understanding of gender and the language used to describe it should not lead to presumption, said Nick Adams, Director of Transgender Representation, thank you, of the LGBTQ advocacy organization GLAAD. That's right, you guys. Stop assuming that everyone is gender fluid just because they say, hey, I have a pair of pink socks and, I cry sometimes. I cried after Old Yeller. It doesn't mean they're transgender. It's about time somebody stood up for Billy Dee Williams here. It's important to acknowledge and respect the person's gender identity and the pronouns they use. Someone who uses the singular they pronoun and perhaps uses both he, him, she, her interchangeably could be telling you they are non-binary or gender fluid. However, one should not make assumptions or apply labels based on limited information, which is what the entire media did. They jumped to that conclusion because they wanted to run with this narrative that Lando Calrissian was pansexual or non-binary or LGBTQ something, the actor and the character. And that would be fun for them. That would be very, very fun. So they made countless art. I can't even tell you. I want to get Data Racer 117. You should do one of your collages, if you're listening, of all of the different articles that ran with this story and once again disgraced Billy Dee Williams and ran with this assumption for their own narrative, for their own amusement. You need to listen to what a person actually tells you about their gender identity, says Nick Adams from GLAAD. I was listening. I totally understood that this man was 82 and probably didn't know what his fellow kids were talking about. He didn't get it. In the interview, Williams went on to seemingly conflate gender identity and sexual orientation, saying, I wasn't talking about running around and having a good time playing male or female sexual games. I don't know what he means there. All right, so in any case, hilarious. I knew it. I knew it. I knew these people would absolutely do whatever they can to project their own silliness onto a confused elderly man. The great Billy Dee Williams, Lando Calrissian. He's very much a man. He's very much a man. But you watch Superman the movie, and when Superman was flying through the sky with Lois Lane, and that song, Can You Read My Mind? He cried a little bit. And he reached for his partner's hand, and said, come fly with me. But he's still all man. He's just a sensitive guy. Don't get it twisted, SJWs. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments section what you think about this. Is this incredible that this happened? I mean, I think it's pretty remarkable. Subscribe, share this video if you want to help me out, if you want to help this channel out. Sharing the video, liking the video, leaving a comment, interacting with the video in any way really helps this channel to grow. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and double check and make sure that they haven't unsubscribed you. YouTube is unsubscribing people, their entire channels, when they think that those channels are inactive. So fight back, check and make sure that you're still subscribed, and I'll talk to you again soon with another video. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Hey, I got a P.O. box. Want to send me some mail? Send it to Ethan Van Sciver, P.O. Box 607, Marlton, New Jersey 08053. And I'll probably open it up on a live stream. Thanks very much, everyone. Hey, you want to follow me on Twitter? Are you sure? Well, if so, I'm at Ethan Van Sciver. That's at Ethan Van Sciver. See you there.